Good morning, it's me, Carrie, and look, it's in landscape and I'm live. So I'm so excited about that, you have no idea, because I like to be live. Okay, so I'm getting my tablet set up per normal stuff. And, okay, hopefully it's all gonna work. Uh-oh, what is it doing? I think it's there, but like the light is weird. Oh gosh. Have patience. It's me. So I'm trying to get it to work and it's acting. I tapped something. You know how that goes? You're moving along just fine and all of a sudden you tap it and it goes nuts. There we go. Okay, I'm being very careful. Careful, 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 careful. Hi, I see somebody's popped on. Say hello. So today, I think this is going to be a fast card. I don't know 100% because I did not pre-make it this time. And but I am completely 99.9% casing this card from another demonstrator. I saved the picture thinking she had her watermark on it. You know, like when you see mine, it has like my name on it. And she didn't. And sometimes I'll catch that and I'll write it on my like screenshot so that I remember who created this card. And I don't. And I feel horrible about it. I went looking to see if I could figure it out because it was on the demonstrator site. So I apologize to her. Pretty sure it was a girl. It could have been a guy because we have a lot of guy demonstrators. But anyway, I apologize to her. But just know this really cute idea is cased from another demonstrator. So I am going to be using a die out of the Nature's Prints dies, which originally was bundled with the Nature's Prints stamp set. They are both still available in the catalog, just separately. We are not going to be using the stamp set, just the die, one of the dies. And we're going to be using the Night Divine stamp set. We're going to be using two of the stamps from this fabulous set, which you know is in the holiday mini catalog, the one that ends, and is having a big sale, so go check it out. Night of Navy ink. Very vanilla cardstock. Oh, I want to show you that card. I'm also going to be using the Deckled Circle dies. These are the awesome dies. They are also in the current mini, and they will be carried over, which I'm excited about. You know, I like circles and squares and that kind of stuff. So these are the two dies that we're going to be using. The Deckled Circle. It's the 5th smallest, so it's kind of in the middle because there's a boatload of them. And then this one from the Nature's Prints, I believe it's called. Yes, Nature's Prints dies. Okay, and we're going to be cutting that out of gold foil. This one is going to be cut out of Very Vanilla. One of these is a scrap piece. They look the same though, don't they? Anyway, so one of them is going to be out of that. A piece of Very Vanilla for the inside. The card base is Night of Navy. And then we're going to be using a couple of pieces, these two, of this beautiful designer series paper. It is called Shining Brightly, and it is in the current mini. So I am going to move things along. I've already cut this piece. This is, you guys know, this is a half sheet of what would be 11 by 8.5, and it's cut at 5.5. So it's 5.5 by, 8.5 by 5.5. Okay, got my hands going the right way. Okay, so I'm going to be using this piece of gold foil to cut out this like leafy wreath design. This is where mine differs. She did something a little bit different. I wanted something a little quicker. And then this and that. So I want to show you guys though something. My I got my very first card from one of my demonstrator downline people on my team, Sue Elwert. And I'm hoping that the glare doesn't, it's a faker shaker. I haven't done many of these, but can you see how the shaker is inside here? And she's just got these, it's just so pretty. And then the die, and then on the inside is where she put her name and sentiment, and then the little Merry Christmas right there. But how cute is this card? Like, seriously, it's so cute. Now, this is not a Stampin' Up! Envelope, because you know ours open at the top. So, if you're buying the Stampin' Up! Ones, you could still do this, just have it open that way, if that makes sense to you. Okay, I just had to show it. So, thank you, Sue. It's the first one from one of my downline. So, those of you who send me cards, yes, I will be showing your cards also. All right, so I'm going to take this piece of Designer Series paper and I am going to cut it to 4 inches by 5 1/4. I'm trying to figure out the stars. I think the stars go this way. Sometimes I look at like these and I think that one is like taller. It might just be me. I'm 67. It could be my eyeballs. Let's be real. And then I'm going to cut it. So that was at 4. And so then this is going to be at 5 1/4. Okay. I set that over here on my pile. And then this one, I am going to cut to 5. I'm sorry. What am I doing? I want to cut it to, hang on. I did not pre-make this. Did I say that before? I think I did. I'm gonna cut this to 5 1/4. And then I want 2 that are I think 2 inches is going to be too wide. You'll see why. So I'm going to cut them at 1 7/8 and see if that works. So it's just shy of 2 inches. And we will hope that works. Did I do that? Did I do 7/8? No, I did this first line. So what would that be? 15/16 or something like that. I am not a math whiz, people. All right. So I think this is going to work. I might find I need to retrim them or something, but I think that's going to work. So sometimes when you case, you don't really know what you're doing. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm going to grab a couple of other tools here. My adhesives. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, let me make sure, one of these was kind of cut funky. I don't know which one is worse. I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to line it up with this one. Because, you know, I pre-cut all of my little pieces, and sometimes, okay, this is the one that's messed up. Sometimes they cut pretty perfect, and sometimes they don't. So this one is for the inside. That's for later. All right. So here's my scrap, and I'm going to want to cut this out. I'm going to be using the Glory to God in the Highest for this piece. Night of Navy ink. And I'm only setting that there just so I can kind of get an idea. Because I've stamped, I don't know if you guys have ever done this. Have you ever stamped something on something like this, and then you go to cut it out, and you realize you've cut it too close, and you can't cut it out where you want it? So I wanted to have a general idea. So I'm going to cut that right in the center. Now before I put away my ink, I'm going to take this piece, and I am going to, because this is pretty big, I'm going to take my ink pad. Yes, this is the old style. It's still Night of Navy. I did not replace my older style ink pads. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. So I'm going to ink it this way. And I'm going to stamp this right center top. It's a big one, so I'm going to give it a pretty good squish. There you go. So those are the stamped pieces. So now I'm going to go and use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to cut out this and to cut out this. So talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Tell me how your Thanksgiving was. Please, I'd love to know. We had a very nice one. My brother-in-law Dave and his wife Kelly had the whole family over. That's my husband's brother and his wife. Had us all over, and I was very happy that some of the children were there. My children were there, and my sister-in-law's daughter was there, and yeah. We also celebrated Brittany's birthday, which is my daughter Brittany, which is tomorrow. I will post pictures. I saved those pictures of her with her birthday cake to do it on her birthday, so I will send those. So my baby is 40. How does that happen, you guys? Okay, I have to concentrate because I'm going to be rolling now. So, and my strength is not, it's really easy to roll, but I have like no upper body strength. I'm just awful with it, seriously. Okay, so I cut them out at the same time. So there's that piece. And if I did it right, I now have this piece. Always make sure when you're done that you take this and you knock all those little gold pieces off. Yes, mine are very loved. And I know that there are demonstrators who say, you need to like replace those very quickly. Well, yeah, maybe. But I need my take your pick tool. Hold on. But I have a quote from one of the past leaders from my church that is a favorite of mine. He said, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. And so since I'm not going to do without my Stampin' Up, scrapbooking, and card making supplies, it's not going to happen. But I can make them do for a very long time. Okay, so most of them came out. I just had to pick out a few of them. So as I was saying, I'm going to want to make sure I clean this off. So since I'm doing a video, I'm going to make sure I have all those little scrappies on there and out of my way. And then I'm going to set this over on my desk so that I remember. But I'm not throwing out these bigger pieces. I might save, but I might toss these. But I am cheap. That's how it goes. Okay. Anybody with me there? You guys are so quiet. It's like nobody's talking. It's very, very weird. All right. So now I've showed you everything. I've stamped everything. I showed you all the products I've used. Now we're going to make this fun fold card. So I'm going to start by folding my Night of Navy in half. Now this is Night of Navy, and honestly I should have pre-scored it because it's very thick, but I did not. Then I'm going to open it back up, and I am going to take this stars piece. Isn't it beautiful? I just love it. And I am going to adhere that to, oh golly, you guys, I think I just did something wrong. Because hers was a little different. Hold on. I can still fix it. Let's all just, nobody panic. All right, let me grab my trimmer again. Okay, so you still have this, but I forgot I need another piece of Night of Navy. So I am going to take this. This is the other half. It's the same size, right? So I'm going to take this, and I am going to go to 4 inches, maybe a little more. I'm going to go to 4 4 inches and not a quarter, because here's a quarter. I'm going to go to an 1/8 right there. Again, I don't know if this is right. I don't know. And then I'm going to just cut it over a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not even measuring. So that was 4 1/4. I'm going to go to, it was 4 1/8. I'm sorry. I'm going to go to 4 1/2. I think that'll be sufficient. And I'm going to cut that off. Save this for later, of course. So now everybody hold your breath. Hold your breath. Carrie is casing without paying attention to detail. This is why a professional would have pre-made this card, but I didn't. So now I've folded that at that score line, right? And I am going to use tear and tape on here, at the score line, on this little piece here. And voila, like so. Okay, bone folder it. I know my glue's sitting out open. I know, it's not good. But you know, that's what happens in real life. I think. It's what happens to me. I forget. But you should not. You should not forget. So, now I want to connect this so it is connected to this piece. So, I am going to tuck it in here and, hang on, do it like this. And I want to make sure, though, if I did it right to here, it's going to be too short. Can you see? Well, probably not, because it's Night of Navy on Night of Navy. But I want it to be even. So, again, I did not pre-make this card, you guys. I know. It's a terrible thing. All right. Looks a little crooked there. So you kind of want to make sure you've got it evened up. It doesn't look perfect. I don't know what's going on. Whenever it's really bright out, it's very bright here in Michigan today, in my part of Michigan. So I have a 3-fold. If you use a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, you could cut it at 5 1/2 and then score it at 4 1/8, right? Your card would be thinner though, just so you know. All right, so now I have this piece, and now I have to see how it's going to fit on there. Perfect. Okay, so I know, just bear with me. All right, so I'm going to take this piece, and I'm going to put this right in the center. And see, it's going to be covering this up. Not a lot, but it's going to cover it a little bit. So you kind of want to center it on there. Like so. For those of you just tuning in, I am casing the card of another demonstrator who I neglected to write her name down. So it's an almost perfect case. Copy and stamp everything. I'm using some different, I think she had that in the center, but I'm using some different gold. So I'm doing it a little different, but it's almost a perfectly casing her stuff. Now I'm going to take this, and instead of going over to here, which, hold on, something's going on. Nope, that's right. I am going to even it up over here, because that's the side that's going to show when the card is closed. So it's hard for you guys to probably see that because it's Night of Navy on Night of Navy. And yes, I can see that there's a little bit of an edge. I could have made it a little bit longer, but having that little bit of an edge means that it's going to fold a little nicer for me. So now you can see, you open it. You can put another piece here. Look at that piece, must be crooked. Must be, because I did it. But then, you know, you could put 2 more in here. If you want to write a nice long note to your family and friends, that would be actually kind of cool. And this is very vanilla. So then here's where the fun fold comes in. Now this is partly a fun fold, right? I'm going to take this piece, which is the front flap, and I am going to fold it back on itself until I get to the score line for the fold of the card. And I am going to crease that very tightly. Then, if my measurements were right when I cut these, so everybody hold your breath. Yep, that's going to work. So now these two are going to go here and here. So they did line up. So actually, if you look, this actually is correct. They're lining up perfectly. Perfection is overrated, although you know how I feel. Perfection is definitely overrated. So I am putting adhesive. I'm still not seeing any comments. I'm going to stand up and see. Thank you, Adam. So see, I see somebody. Yes. Yes, thank you. I don't know why I'm not seeing comments. It's so weird. I don't want to see top comments. I want to see all comments. Weird, weird, weird. I don't know. Here's something really weird too, you guys. I don't know what is the deal with Facebook, but I can see like the number of comments will like show in the bottom of the screen. It'll say, let's say 27 comments. But then when I go to look, it says showing you the most relevant comments. How does Facebook know what is most relevant? I want to see everything you guys say. I don't want to see what they think I should see. And on a business page, it's not allowing me to say, show me all the comments. Isn't that weird? It's just weird. And frankly, it's rude. It's very rude. All right, so I'm centering between here and here. And then I've got a very thin line there. So I'm still going to have a Night of Navy edge, but not a real wide edge, which I am totally good with. So now I'm going to, this goes this way. Okay. I don't think anybody would have noticed, but I know that the leaves are supposed to line up. All right. So there we've got that. So it goes like this and it goes like this. Very pretty, right? It's very pretty. You're going to want to score your guts out here and get it to fold really good for you. And remember that in the mailing process, it's gonna stay a little folded. Okay, so there we are. Now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it over this piece. So I have to be very careful where I'm going to put my glue. So I am going to grab my silicone mat, which is not where it's supposed to be. Hold on. I have like 5 of these, and for some reason, 90% of the time, I can find one on my desk. Because when I used to teach classes all the time in person or go to people's houses, which I'm still willing to do, but it just doesn't really happen anymore. I used to have a lot of them. So I am going to fit this until I think that the words go correctly. Okay, so that's not bad. So I can kind of sort of see where I want to put my adhesive. So I'm not going to panic about having a lot of adhesive. I'm using my silicone mat because if it squirts over, then I can feel a little better about myself, right? So you don't need a ton. I just need to hold it in place. That's all. And then I am flipping it over so that I can get it where I want it. Now you can see I could have put more adhesive on. So if that really bugs you, okay, that's bugging me. And you can see, I still see some very vanilla sticking out in places. That does not bother me. If it bothers you, trim it off. Also, there are places that are not as glued down. I'm okay with that. If this is bugging you, and it is, I'll be honest, it is bugging me. Where are my snips? You guys, I can't find anything today. What is going on? This is another thing I have a million of. This is bugging me a little bit. So I'm going to see. I glued it, so yeah, I'm not sure. I am going to snip that right there. And after it dries, I'm going to do something about that adhesive on there. Okay? So otherwise, I'm fine with it. Okay? Now you might go, oh, but now that looks weird. So snip this one off and stick it in there. Let's see. Am I going to doctor it? Should I doctor it, you guys? I think I'm going to doctor it. Because I can. Because it's my card, right? And I'm casing it from someone else. But I'm, like I said, I'm not, she used different things. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a little adhesive on the back of this. And I am going to scooch it in and under, kind of like that. Now I don't have to clean up the glue mess, and it doesn't look like I have a hole there. And then that piece isn't sticking out, so life is good. So do you guys ever do that? Do you ever take your stuff and doctor it up a little bit? I love to doctor it up. All right, so now I am going to take some dimensionals. And I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. But you know what? I have a fun fold, right? I have a fun fold. So I definitely don't want to put it all over. So I am going to hold this in place. And I'm going to see, okay, that's where it looks good. And put a finger here so I know this side. Now really, because this is a fun fold, you don't really have to put it on dimensionals. You could leave it flat and it would work just peachy. But sometimes, you know, you gotta pop things up. You gotta keep fun, right? And I think dimensionals are just a blast. All right, so here's my next question while I finish this. How many of you have finished making your Christmas cards? Please let me know. Give me some loves. If you guys have finished your Christmas card making, drop me some loves. I am curious. I have not. All right, so now this is on dimensionals. And all I have to do is then center it right there. And look, can you see why I copied this? This is just the prettiest card. It's just beautiful. So I was wrong about having extra space. I forgot I was folding this, but you do have space here. I cased this and I did not practice. Did I mention that? But look at how pretty, even however they choose to stand it up. Well, I guess you guys can't see that. It can stand up this way, it can stand up that way, but it is going to stand up in their homes. So I just think this is beautiful. I really, really like it. And of course, there are other sentiments you could put there. Different. She used different leaves. She used a bunch of smaller die cuts and wrapped them around it. So that works too. But it's the exact same paper she used because I just loved it. So I hope you guys like this card today and that you are all having, Jan, I love green glue. Love it, love it. Because I'm not, I gotta spin stuff. I can't put it down perfectly. Okay, so am I missing anybody? It says I have one new comment, but it's not showing me to you. Oh, thank you for sharing, Jan. Appreciate that. All right, you guys, have a blessed and wonderful week. Don't forget that there is the seasonal sale. Boy, I really moved those around, didn't I? There is the seasonal sale right now at my website, MemoryINKers.com. That's my Stampin' Up! Website. If you are shopping and you're spending less than $150 for the rest of November. Okay, because there'll be a new hostess code in December. But for November, it is B as in boy, R as in Robert, X as in X-ray, 2, 6, A as in Adam, R as in Robert, 7. I should have said B is for Brittany because her birthday is tomorrow. So, all right, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful week. See ya. Oh, and thanks for everybody who placed orders during my Black Friday sale. And thanks to everybody who played the shopping cart game. Watch for your goodies. Bye.